Okay, sacrifice. Now, if I look drowsy, I am. I took some medicine for my allergies. The trees and flowers are blooming here in New York. So, I'm tired. Now, let's put this clear. We know what's going on with Josh Alexander and Mickie James. Josh is out. He tore his tricep. He got perfect surgery. He's fine. But he's not going to make a rebellion, so he's not here in the show. Mickie James did an update. I will talk about that update in the review if I don't forget it because I am drowsy. Just in case I yawn, please don't get upset. But we'll see the question about her, if she can make rebellion or not. If. But there's something I got to address because some of what's going to be in this review for Sacrifice, I want to say clearly, was the matches bad? No, they were all very good matches, to good matches. But were the necessary matches, some of them? I think two are not. But this kind of goes with what I want to say. And I got to say this about Just Alex. And I want to make this clear. If Just Alex even saw this, which he won't, he's not going to look at somebody like me. But if he did, how you do? I've always respected you. Still love your content. But I did see what happened in AEW Dynamite and his thoughts about when it came to, what was the guy's name? What is it? I mispronounced names, so I'm sorry. When Kenny went up against the Vaquito, I believe I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, so I'm sorry. But when it came to that match, which I didn't shit on, I just said what people might like and what people won't like. But when it came to Just Alex, his attitude, and understand, wrestling reviewers all have their own certain attitudes. I'm no different. But let's make this clear. When he was having the attitude about what Jim Cornette and several other people saying that it was all flippy crap and no one's going to like it, and his attitude was simply, well, these old fogies don't give a damn. They're so damn dumb. They don't understand the business now. Does he have a point? Of course he does. But did he need to come off that way? No. Look, I'm 52 years old. I would generally almost fit within that category of what he's talking about, and I don't. Because if I did, I would never like the original NXT. The only reason I stopped reviewing it was because every time when people went to the main roster, they got shitted on by Vince McMahon. But I've never really generally said that whoever has a different opinion is nothing but a damn stupid fool. Unless they want to try and make a fight out of it. And in this situation, when it comes to Just Alex, I understand his point, but he didn't need to go there because there are people that are my age probably watching him and getting a little insulted by it. Now, for me personally, I'm not getting insulted, but I have to address a little bit that if he did see this, say, Alex, look, dude, you got the right to say what you're saying because in most cases you are right. The business has changed, but it does not mean that you have to go that far and say these old ass damn fools don't know nothing. Come on. Come on. There are people that are my age, maybe a little bit older, a little bit younger. They're watching you. And some of them probably would get a little insulted by that. You can still make your point by not going that far. You can say that a lot of people don't understand how much the business has changed. And getting an attitude because of what's going on with Jim. I don't even agree with Jim. But in some cases, he is right. Some. And even you would admit that. But you don't need to act like him and have his type of attitude because what does that give you? It makes somebody like me talk. So I'm not saying I'm perfect because I sometimes have acted just like Just Alex. But if I notice it, I am going to address it. And I'll either apologize for it or give a reason why I went that far with it. But I just had to say it. I know I didn't need to, but the only reason I did that is because of how the card was structured. Probably due to the fact of how Josh is not there and Mickie James couldn't have a match. Now, the kickoff show. Eddie Edwards versus Ed Gunther. I'm sorry. I didn't think it was necessary to have that match. It wasn't a bad match. I didn't have a problem with it. It was fine. And Eddie won, which I'm not surprised because he is in the storyline, particularly what happened with Kenny and PCO. But honestly, it didn't really help Gunther that much. Yeah, he's getting to work with the one that's upper in the card. Yes. And there's no problem with that. but it's not going to help him in progression of his character or any storyline because he really doesn't have one. And sometimes you do need it. I mean, some people do need it. And Gunja did work with Raj and work with Shira, but right now Raj and Shira are doing the Happy Corbin gimmick in a sense. If you believe that they're doing the Happy Corbin gimmick, they're just doing the rich man gimmick now. But I don't know what they're gonna do with Gunja because he's got talent. Yes, he's not a bad talker either. So I don't know where they're gonna go with him. And I don't think he needed to be on this match. I mean, have this match on the card. It could have been left for Impact. It could have been left for an Impact Zone. I'm just saying. Now, Rosemary versus Kylie King. Was this necessary? Honestly, no. Because of one factor. There's no Knockouts division for the tag. You know what I mean? The Knockouts division for the tag division, it's just not there. The Knockouts, there's almost nobody there for the tag division. Nobody. They don't bring anyone in from the outside to fill in the gaps. Look, you got maybe 2 teams. And instead of bringing independent women from the independents to tag and to give at least a little bit of showing that there's more than just 2 women on the roster and they bring in some people just to job, it's empty. So this match setting up for the next contention, as they were trying to do, was a big waste of time. And I didn't like it because it wasted Kylie King and it wasted Rosemary, where they could be in, basically they can be in singles, where we need more women in the singles. And yes, I know there's supposed to be a wild child, a new woman coming in. I don't know who she is, but the question is, how long will she last? That's the big question. Now, first match, and I had a feeling this was going to happen. Jonathan Gresham versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Since they had a very good match last time, they're doing it again here. Now, do I believe they needed to be in the beginning of the card? To be honest, I would have liked them higher up on the card. Honestly, I would have. I would have liked to see PCO and Kenny King in the spot. Not Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey. I just believe that would have been a better sight. And I don't know about anyone else, but when it comes to Jonathan Gresham, he's got a lot of character. He's got a lot of attitude. And he's a damn great wrestler. I never watched the OH. Never seen it. I've maybe heard about it once or twice, but I never seen it. But seeing that he was a staple there, I can understand why he was so popular and he was there. Because he's a very good wrestler. He has a certain attitude. And he's fun. And I could see that in his character and the way he wrestled and how his interaction with Speedball Mike Bailey, where Speedball was getting pretty pissed at him, started having an attitude, particularly when he was trying to shake hands because of a couple of accidents. And in the end, we got Bailey winning. Do I believe he needed to win? No. I believe Gresham needed to win. That's me. Because I do believe he can move up the card. And he should move up the card. He should be moving up to getting either the X Division or go to the main title scene. Because particularly now there's no Josh Alexander, I would like to see Gresham in the title scene. Not anybody else that is not doing much. I'm just saying. Now, the Digital Media Championship between Joe Henry, I had to look, and a Brian Myers. Oh, my eyes. Sorry. Whew. Itchy eyes. Did I care about this match? It was okay. Like I said, the match qualities were all good. But here's the thing. Did Joe Henry need to win? Well, I know they don't usually switch titles on Impact Plus show, so he was going to win anyway. But where are they going to go with Brian Myers, Joe Henry, and Moose, who got ejected, forbidden by the Santino Marella from going ringside? That's the way it went. Joe Henry won, but where are they going to go with this this situation with the Digital Media Championship with Brian Myers and Moose dealing with a Joe Henry. Are they going to continue it? Are they going to do something more extreme? I don't know. Now, let's do this right now when it comes to Mickie James. I want to get it done now because I'm going to do the Shaw and Purrazzo match. We did have the interview, and Mickie James said that, excuse me, Mickie James did say that she has a broken rib. She was having problems breathing. She went to check, and she has a broken rib. So she cannot wrestle right now. But Santino said simply, when it comes to Multiverse United, it's going to be a match. And whoever wins that match will go to Rebellion against Jordynne Grace. And that would be that match if Mickie's not recovered enough. If Mickie is recovered, then she will be added into that match. But if she's not, and Mickie made it clear herself that, yeah, Jordynne told her you should not be doing matches too close to the pay-per-view or too close to this show, and pretty much she was right, as she said, but she made it very clear, if I cannot make it to Rebellion, I will hand over my title to the person who wins. Now, do I believe it's going to be... do I want to see Marsha versus a Jordynne Grace again? Honestly, no. No. But since Mickie's out at the moment, they're going to throw it there anyway. And you already know what's going to happen. If Jordynne Grace doesn't win, that will not help a Marsha Slamovich. No matter how much people are going to say, well, Marsha can finally get the title. I just don't believe she should. Because she has been built so badly. This would not make it right for the knockouts. I'd rather see Deonna Purrazzo win the damn title than a Marsha Slamovich. Not because I don't like Marsha, because I actually do. She's actually doing some good work when it comes to working with Bully Ray. But now throwing to the main title scene again, I'd rather see Deonna Purrazzo. Now, Gazelle Shaw versus Deonna Purrazzo, which I think this is the third best match for me personally. This was a very good match which spotlighted Gazelle Shaw. And I got to say this. The Impact Diaries, I have seen the one with Jordynne Grace, and I've seen the one with Gazelle Shaw. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on the Gazelle Shaw diary and my thoughts on her life. If you guys want me to, just tell me below if you want to. But I got a better perspective on how she works in the ring by her attitude in the diary. But still, she should be the Black Widow. She should change her ring attire, be more of a darker character, not just wearing darker clothes, but have a much more sinister attitude. That is what they should have leaned to. But they're still doing the quintessential diva, which I don't believe she needs at this time. There's nothing wrong with her being dark. And I don't know why they didn't go there. Now, the match was very good, and Deonna Purrazzo won until after the match was over, pretty much Evans started hammering on her, at least until we got Tasha Steelz coming back, looking like she's fit, looking like she's ready, goes in the ring saying pretty much, it's me and you girls, me and you against the world, let's take out that bitch right there. Doesn't say it, but that's what she went to, and pretty much nails a Savannah Evans in the back, and pretty much gets rid of her in boots, high heel boots, not the thin one that like the stilettos, they like a thick heel. At least she was smart enough not to wear those thin ones where she could break her ankle. My mother did that walking down the street, walking in the apartment building I was born in, not born in but grew up in. You can see I'm getting drowsy because I'm going like fading from concentration. All right. Do I feel happy that Tasha's back? Yes. Seeing her dealing with Savannah Evans, good. Because they needed to go there with Savannah Evans. We need to go there with Tasha. We need to have some type of feud. This will be good for Vidal. This will be good for the quintessential diva who should be the Black Widow. I'm cool with it. The question is, how are they going to book it? That's the question. Next, PCO versus Kenny. It was not a bad match. Let me put it to you like this. We knew who was going to win. You know who was going to win. And he won. But at one point, I'm like, you're seeing a little bit of a malfunction in the Perfect Creation 1. And in the end, we get that ending. Is it a bad ending? No. But the question is, where are we going to go with Eddie and PCO? Because you know what it really meant. Kenny was an afterthought. This is about PCO and Eddie. And how are they going to end this? Monsters Balls? What? What are they going to do to make this end? Because this could go on for quite a while. And the key here is, what is PCO going to gain from this? Not Eddie. Eddie's fine. It's PCO that's going to need to be gaining something out of this. I just don't know where they're going to go with it. Will he go after a title? Will he join Decay? Will he do something like I don't know. He needs something more. I just don't know what it is. I'm just saying. Now, the second best match of the night. Because the best match of the night was Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey for me personally. This was the second best match. And this is the X Division. When it comes to Lucha Dorado, I believe that's his name. Formerly who worked in Impact Wrestling. I mean, not Impact Wrestling, but WWE. And I think he did. And Trey Miguel. Now, supposedly, Dorado has not been on the roster since 2013. Well, not the roster. He did do one special in 2013. He hasn't been back since. So, this is new. And him going up against Trey is new. This was a very high, fast-paced match. It was an interesting match not because we got two luchadors. It was about, what would I actually see if Dorado had won and Trey had to actually chase him? Because they could have done this with Dorado Kid. And they have not done it with Dorado Kid, who should have won the title quite a long time ago and would be something interesting for Trey to chase. Here, he didn't win, of course. We know Trey won. It was a clean win. But do I wish that Trey could have lost and be a very pissed off heel that now goes in the main title scene? Yes. I would have liked it if Black Taurus or Dorado or even Crazy Steve won. One of those three winning, I would have been fine because Trey could have gone to the main title scene. That's what I want, because we need more people in the main title. And that was before our boy Josh got hurt. Now he's gone. They got a big void they got to fill in and trying to make the story that they've already recorded, because they got at least 1 or 2 recordings under the belt. Gonna make any sense? I'm just saying. Here is Busted Open. Bully Ray versus Tommy. Now, I don't really need to say much about this match. It is a first blood match, but it's called Busted Open. Who gets cut open first wins. Now, Tommy managed to bust open Bully first, but the good hands came to save him. They gave him a towel to wipe his face after he busted his head open. And in the end, when Bully was willing to use Tommy's own daughters against him and some thumbtacks thrown into the ring, we get Tommy getting busted open. And pretty much, even though Bully was busted open for more than a few minutes, he loses. What does this give us? Honestly, this is where it's getting, what are we exactly going to get? Now, Mickie James is no longer part of the story because she's got a broken rib. She's not there now. And when it comes to Nick Aldis, even if she wasn't broken, having a broken rib, he wouldn't come. And they needed something more going with Tommy and Bully Ray. I wanted Nick Aldis, but Nick is not going to be there because they didn't want, either he didn't want to come there or they didn't need him. And now Mickie James is hurt. So she's not even going to be a part of that. So what do we got now? What other matches we're going to do? Personally, the only match that would mean anything to me will be a Singapore Cane match. And it's not like a cane stuck on a pole where simply you got to go and grab it. I want the original one between him and Sandman, where who lost get that ass whooped by a damn cane. I want that. That's the only thing that's going to make the best sense to really make this mean something. That if Bully was, I know he wouldn't follow it, but if Bully was a man with some balls, he'd take his freaking beatings from a Tommy Dreamer or Tommy. And that would actually be interesting to me personally, but I don't know. Now, Bullet Club versus TMDK. Here's the problem for me. What happened to the announcer? Why? Why wasn't the announcer? And that also happened what happened, I believe, when it came to the Digital Media Championship and when it came to X Division. Why didn't they do a quick announcement of it being, here is the Digital Media Championship match, X Division match, or tag match? At least one of them getting that. I believe that they needed it for Bullet Club. Bullet Club had the right to have the announcer come in the ring and say, this is a tag team championship match. I feel like they needed it. At least one of those matches needed an announcement and didn't really feel like it was necessary for the other two, but the tag did. You could have skipped it for the Digital Media Championship, even though it should have been done. And when it came to X Division. But when it came here, I do believe it was necessary. Now, it was a good match. In the end, who do you think was going to win? You actually think Bullet Club was going to job here? They weren't. They weren't. Particularly, they're going to go to Wrestleverse United, and they're going to be there too. So I'm not surprised. And let's see here. Oh, almost forgot. What happened in the first blood match when it came to, what was the guy's name? I can't remember the guy's name. Where is he? Mackenzie. I believe that's his name. Not Mackenzie. McCarty? I'm not in the NHL, so I don't watch any type of wrestling on the ice when it comes to hockey. But he's one of the most dangerous hockey players that's been known. So he did have his moment in the ring. I'm sorry I forgot to add that. As I said, I'm drowsy. So actually, I may just upload this without any images. So if you see no images, I'm sorry. I'm very drowsy. Please don't be mad. But seeing that sight was good. Seeing that now Scott D'Amore may have a... If they move away from Tommy and they do this with Scott and Bully Ray and actually have a match, because we managed to see Scott do a damn Canadian Destroyer on Notch. I believe it would... Was it Skylar or Notch? No, Hotch. Was it Skylar or Hotch? Hotch. It was Hotch. It was not Skylar who did the Canadian Destroyer with him. I want to see a match between Scott and Bully Ray. If they book it correctly, I want to see it. Against Tommy, I think it's just run its course. Do it with Scott. That's what needs to be done. Now, Yuri Mura, he's an afterthought. Doesn't mean I want him to be, but that's what happened there. Now, finally, I think that's everything. If I'm forgetting anything, I'm very sorry. Count this as drowsiness because I'm still loopy. Final match of the night, the 6-man tag, which could have been in the middle of the show, was not my best. But there's nothing wrong with the match. Time Machine versus Kaz, Swan, and Macklin, who had to replace Josh Alexander. And they tried to hype it up saying that I need this to work. I want this to work because I want to scout Kushida. That's cool. Fine. No problem. But I gotta say this. I'm worried for Macklin. Because now that this situation's happening, the match was fine. It was not a problem. It was a main event match. It was not bad. In the end, what did we get? time machine winning due to the fact that Macklin had to tap out to the hoverboard lock, because he didn't want to mess himself up before his match coming up. He didn't want to hurt himself. But I am worried about Macklin, because now that, let's put it in this respect. Do you believe that we're going to let Josh job to Macklin? Honestly, no. But now Macklin clearly has a good shot at this, but do you believe they're going to pull the trigger on him? Because they might not. They may use somebody else. They may use pretty much Eddie. They could use Eddie Edwards. They could use Moose. They can use anyone else but Macklin. And I do believe Macklin is ready. But do Impact believe that Macklin's ready? That's the big question. The question's going to be, do they believe he's ready? Because if they pull the trigger on him, they got to book him correctly. And if they don't book him correctly, what was the point of putting the damn strap on him in the damn first place? And that's what I'm worried about. And I know people are going to say, dude, what are you worrying about? His Impact, they know how to book. Really? I've been reviewing Impact for 13 years. No, not 13 years. No. 2012, 2023. Not 13 years. My mistake. I am really drowsy. I want to go to sleep after this. After I upload this sucker, I'm just going to go, 11 years. My mistake. But still, I've seen Impact do the most stupidest booking. And it was right in front of them what they need to do, and they chose not to do it. Either because maybe the person wasn't signed to Impact. Maybe it was because they had no idea what to do with them. Or politics. It's happened over the years. I'm hoping to understand what to do with Macklin. I am hoping that he will be booked to win this, because honestly, he's ready for it. And now with Josh being out, we really need this. We need someone who's a new champ that can go in a new direction. And this is going to be a big question. Will they do it? Will they pull the trigger? But this is just me. And I hope you enjoy Sacrifice 2023 review. Please leave a comment below. And if you want me to do a review of Gazelle Shaw and her diary, just tell me. Or you want me also briefly talk about Jordan Grace's diary while doing Gazelle, just leave a comment. If there's no images in here, I'm sorry. I want to go to sleep. Peace.